Well, hello. I have been kind of busy this week. Kind of. Um, of course, I think I should accomplish way more than what I do get accomplished, but you know how it goes. Little update on my air conditioner. It still is not working. The guy gave it a free on charge last time. That lasted a couple of days, and then it started to, like, it's working super hard and it can't reach temperature. And it's froze up in the attic, and another guy came out today, which it's been a week, so that they could check to see where the leak is at. It's on the outside, which is good for them, which means they don't have to work up in that really hot attic, which is bad for me because I have to order a part, and they have not yet called me back to tell me just how long it's going to take to order this part. And the guy shut the unit completely down so that it doesn't damage anything else up in the air handler part in the attic, and I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy at all about it. It's too hot and humid. I just, So I bought that window shaker unit to help keep it cool, but I cannot put it in this room, the craft room slash guest room slash my button office area. There's no way to plug it in. And it says it's a fire hazard if I use an extension cord, so that scared me and made me chicken out on doing that. So I think I'm going to have to stick it in a different room, and depending on how long it takes to get this part in, like, move myself into that area so that I can function. It doesn't help me with the button business part because I need to be in that one place. But anyways, let's move on to better, more positive things. So I've been working on a lot of smalls. Smalls meaning, you know, hold in your hand type items. For the most part, they turned out pretty good. I had a couple of them that were, one that was definitely a fail, but a couple of them that were so-so. So I started off using up my ends of all these partially used skeins and making little octos. And I did the eyes out of yarn instead of the safety eyes so that the little kids could get something. So we have a gray one. We have a green one. We have a hibiscus pink one. I'm not sure what color blue this is, but we have this pretty little blue one. And I think this color is beige. And that's what I sat and did, like, in one sitting. So the next time when I got around where I had a little piece left, it was red. And I forgot that I wasn't putting safety eyes in. Just out of habit, I stuck the safety eyes in here. So there's one with safety eyes. He still needs his little mouth. So 2, 4, 6 baby octos. Then I was like, I want to do a different sunflower turtle. Because like I said, my market, I'm going to catch the tail end of fall. Probably most people will have their stuff, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of things for fall. Actually, I'm really not going to do a whole lot of seasonal type things. I mean, I'll be right before Christmas, so I want to try and have a few Christmas items. But most of it, you know, would be like general, like any time of the year type thing. So I did this other sunflower turtle. I did his body in I can't remember the color, but it's the color that I said looks nice on the potatoes. And his shell I did in 2 colors, the teddy bear and this mustard color. I'm not sure if they actually call it mustard or not. And then the yellow petals. So I think he turned out really nice. I like him. I even made his little eyes kind of go with the color scheme, but he looks pretty cute. So then I was like, I haven't made a bee since I was trying to figure out how to do that smooth color change. So I broke out some Bernat blanket and was playing around and did a bee. And I wanted to do it where the base wasn't flat. You know, it's got a little bit more shape to it. So I did 1 bee out of Bernat blanket. But being on the bee theme, and I wanted to do smalls, some quick things, some things that I can price for the market at a low price. And I don't know, I get amazed when I watch other channels and they say their prices. I'm like, really? You get that much for that? And like, my mind doesn't go there. It's like, I'm going to make all this stuff. I'm going to take it with me. And I want to bring as little home as possible. So I want sellable prices where I still make some money, but I'm not gonna lose my shirt on it. You know, I want it to be worth my while. So with the bees, and white is still an issue with the Parfait Chunky. Now I noticed that Crafty Sue told me that Premier had white. So I went to their website and they were back in stock in every color but 1. So they say. Well, I placed an order to get a couple of things of white and a couple of other colors to hold me over till the rest of my Hirschner's order comes in. Well, I got part of my Hirschner's order, but colors that I already had. Still no white. That stuff is on back order till September 7th. Well, Premier hasn't shipped the order that I placed after Crafty Sue told me to, that they had it back in stock. So I have no white. Not in the Parfait Chunky. I have it in the Basics Chenille, but I don't have a lot of colors with that because, you know, that was like the first time I ever ordered it, hadn't tried it. I wanted to check it out first. And I have it in the Bernat blanket. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I ordered from all these different places and couldn't remember what I ordered from where. I need to start taking notes. But anyhow, so I decided to try doing some little handheld bees. And because I didn't have white, I used blue. I forget. A while back I saw a video and someone said do the wings either in a light blue or a white. Most people do it in white, but then after I did it, I was like, it doesn't look as light blue as it does on the skein when it's made up. Maybe it's because it's with the yellow and the black, but he still turned out cute. I mean, that's a cheapo depot item. Now, I did have a tiny little bit of white left from the Hobby Lobby yarn that I bought a while back, and theirs is a 5 weight, which is very similar to the weight of the Parfait Chunky. So I made up a few sets of wings and did. Now, of course, I got the eyes in different spots. I'm just trying out the placements. I think I like them better like that than farther apart. I mean, both are cute, but I think I like it like that better. So I got one more little set of wings that I already made. I just sat there and crocheted up some circles to do the wings to see, you know, how many bees can I make. But then I got bored with the bees. So I have 3 little mini bees. Then I tried this snail pattern. That was a free pattern on Instagram, and it didn't turn out too good. He won't stand up. He falls forward. I even made this part longer than what the little pattern called for. Maybe I didn't put enough stuffing in this part to hold it up. I mean, it's a cute idea if you can get it to stand. And his little head seems a little misshapen. So, and part of that could be because it's so hot in here. And, you know, the air conditioner not working properly, it's not conditioning the air. So it's a little bit more humid than it normally would be in here to be working with this yarn. This yarn does not like the humidity. But cute idea. So I'm going to have to try this again after my air is fixed to see what it is that I did. Like, I think his little head should be a little rounder. Maybe I just stuffed it wrong. And this part, his body, I think needs to be longer and maybe come out a little bit. I mean, you don't stuff this part, you only stuff the head and this swirly, I don't know what you'd call it, the shell part. So there's that. So someone had commented on my little Ferris wheel display that Jenna got for me that I should put mushroom pops in it instead of frogs. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So I did have one pattern that was free on Instagram. That was for the mushroom pops with the, give it a little booty on it. So I looked, when I was going to look to, you know, pull up the pattern to look at it to do a couple, a different one came up, and they're itty bitty mushroom pops and sunflower pops. So I have one that still needs his eyes. 2, he's already got his eyes. 3, he has his eyes. 3 of the regular mushroom pops still needs eyes. Then, now this is the pattern I bought off of Etsy. Then they had to make a like flower pop, and I'm like, oh well, you know, it is the fall market, and they had these for sunflower. So, not sure. I think this one turned out a little bit better. In the pattern, there's an option of putting leaves on this bottom part, and which I left them off because it just looked like too compact for the size of this, the top of it versus the little body. But they're still cute, and they're pretty quick to make. I was trying to time myself, but of course we can never do anything without some form of interruption. Usually it's Toby. But with the few interruptions that I had, it took me about 20 minutes to make one of these. And that is, I am not pushing myself. I want to enjoy the process. I do not want to rush and do anything like that that's going to make me feel under pressure. So I'm just chilling, doing my thing, and enjoying the process. And it was just about 20 minutes for that. So then I decided, oh, I did one in orange too, which, I guess it's okay. The yellow definitely looks better, but so I had 3. So I decided, well, let me take a look at the other mushroom pop and see. Can't be that difficult to change it to a flower. I mean, it's basically the same shape. So I pulled up the one where you give it a booty and tried to turn it into a sunflower, because the body part, or the stem part, the head, whatever you want to call it, is a little bit bigger on that pattern than on those little mini ones. So this one was my first attempt. See, he's got his little booty back here. Can't really tell too much. And I used the yellow to give him little cheeks. But what I noticed, because of the way this particular pattern is written, they didn't stagger the increases on the even number rounds. So the top kind of came out square. And because of the yellow petals that isn't originally written into this pattern, now this is me playing with it, it like really sticks out. And so I said, well, let me try something. So I tried staggering it. Like, say you're on your 4th round of increases, or you do 4 single crochets and an increase. So I would start off with 2 single crochets, do an increase, then do 4 and an increase, 4 and an increase. And then at the end of that round, it's 2 single crochets, which gives you that 4 again. And it really helps to make your circle come out round. So look at that one versus that one. Big difference. Well, I was like, I'm tired playing with the yellow and brown. I'm going to run out of my teddy bear color because, you know, why not? Seems like, well, of course, the colors that you like, that you work with the most, are the ones you're going to run out of. So that was pretty dumb to think that. But so I did it in purple, with the dark purple and the light purple. The green body pops up. Use the light purple for the blush. This one I did not give the booty, but I think that turned out cute. Now the flower petals, I don't know. Do they seem like they're too big? Does that, you know, is that okay like that? Should I do a different type of petal to make it smaller? I don't know. But I thought it turned out decent. Then I decided, let me do another axolotl. This was also a free pattern on Instagram. And so I did it in yellow and a little bit of the mustard. And then I noticed a lot of people make gummy bears, but when I look at the pictures of the gummy bears, I'm like, doesn't look like a gummy bear to me. Like, you can't really see the bear shape. So I said, let me try it. So I found the video, and this was my first one. Now he looks a little crooked. Like, I know we're working in rounds, and sometimes it seems like it's off a little because we're working in this spiral. But he, for the most part, he looked more like a bear to me, or maybe it's just being able to actually see it in person versus pictures. So that was my first one. Then I said, let me do it in yellow. And it came out a little straighter. And they're, you know, they're small. Like, this would fit in a little kid's hands, and, you know, no eyes on it. I was like, I wonder what it would look like if you did put tiny little eyes in it. How it would, you know, would it do anything for it? I mean, I know the gummy bears, the candies, they don't have that. But I think if I remember right, I put one more stitch in between these arms here versus this one because of this one looking a little crooked, and it seemed to help straighten it out some by doing 4 here instead of 3. So I have 2 little gummy bears, and they're pretty quick too. I mean, like I said, I'm not rushing through it. I'm not trying to like be the speed racer or anything like that. I'm just take my time and enjoy the process. So then I was like, how big will it turn out if I use the Bernat blanket? So this is terracotta. So that's the size difference between Parfait Chunky and Bernat blanket. These are cute. These are, to me, are keychain size. This would be more like, oh, I don't know. Because I'm trying to come up with like $5 or $6 items. So I think because there's so little work in this and they are pretty quick, you know, a $5 or $6 price tag on these might work in this size. I think that's a little too much to ask for one that's that small. But I don't know. This is my first time, and like I said, I don't want to bring it all home with me. So we did the gummies. Let me load my little basket back up here. I am almost done. Not really, but for today. I started sorting through all the ones that I've been making, all my practice ones, because, you know, some of them are misfit, some of them aren't. And so I have one tote full of things that'll be like one of this, one of this, one of this. That will go with me. So, I decided, let me try a chicken nugget. And I think he turned out pretty good. Jenna didn't know what it was when she looked at it. Now, most of the time when you see pictures, it's faced this direction with the eyes. And like, I didn't pay any attention to directions, just where my, my hook and my stitch was at. That to me is the back side, so I put it on the opposite side. But I guess it really doesn't matter if it faces this direction or faces this direction. Now you probably still need some little pink cheeks. The pattern says to do a U-shaped mouth. I could not get it to come out right. So he's just got a little line in there looking like he's all scared someone's going to take a bite out of him. So one chicken nugget. And this one was a pattern from, on Etsy, from, something maiden. She's the one that sold them for $1. Like, by the time the fees and everything are over with, she's getting pennies. But she's upped her price to $2. And I don't blame her, because some of her patterns are really cute. I've bought quite a few from her, and I still have a couple of more to test out. But I got in when they were $1. But I would still, for some of them, I would still pay the $2 for. So another new one that I did was this burger. So the only thing that gets any stuffing is the top bun. The bottom you do 2 and stitch it together. And then you have lettuce, your burger, the cheese, the tomato. And they're all done separately, and then you have to stitch it all together. That was interesting to do. So I'm not sure if this is something I would make more of, but I'll take the one with me and see what happens with the burger. You know, because a lot of people are food people. Like, this could totally, like, maybe, not totally, maybe totally, this could be like a bag charm, maybe? I don't know. But it's cute. And you get to play with all the colors. So then I saw on Instagram, BMO. I am not a cartoon watcher. Adventure Time. I was trying to think of the name of it. But this guy is from Adventure Time. Now, of course, he is not straight at all. They look straight when you start to sew on all the parts and stick the eyes in the same line and everything, and then they end up crooked. But this is BMO. I think he's a remote control. He might be a game thing from the way the shape, like that would be your left, right, up, down. Maybe that's your jump button. So he might be a game control. I don't know. Like I said, I am not a cartoon person, but I wanted to try it out because it was something different. So this is not a new pattern, but I made 3 Mabel chickens. And so I'm curious, if you follow the instructions on the pattern, you stitch it halfway closed and you line up the mouth and do the eyes and all that, and the last thing you do is you're sewing on the comb, and then my little mouth ends up looking crooked. Is anybody else having that problem? Should I wait and do the mouth last? So I don't know, but I did 3, and this is another. The yarn is a Bernat, one of their speckle, I think it is. 3 regular hens and 1 roux. Gave him his little tail. Oops, I forgot to put his thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's half a rooster. He's not quite a full roux yet. So, got to put his, I think it's called a waddle. Got to put that on there. Then there's this chubby frog pattern on Instagram. So I tried doing that, and I started it last night, and I didn't finish it up until this morning. Now, what happened to me, this yarn is like really thick. And when you're doing these bobble stitches, it can be hard to get the eyes in. I didn't get the back on there all the way. So the back fell off. That would be a good example of why safety eyes are not good for the little kids. So this one is in there, but this one is not. So I'm going to try the hot glue thing. And I think he has a cute shape. I don't necessarily care for, with all the color changes, how it looks all broken up. So this might be something, if I do these little chubby frogs, that I would go ahead and do a separate like circle or heart shape or whatever kind of shape and stitch it on separately. As much as we like no sew and not sewing things together, I just think it would look nicer than having all the stitches where the color changes are broken up like that. Like at the beginning, I can't remember now what direction I would be holding it this way. So like the beginning of the stitch looks neater than the last stitches, something like that. But he's a cute little pattern, and for the most part no sew, but like I said, I think I would do it all solid color and then add some type of shape in the form of a patch to his belly, and I would enjoy this more. I'm going to try the hot glue on the eyes. Jenna, Crochet by Jenna, or Crochet something Jenna, she does hers hot glue. And one of her reasons were, you put the eyes in, they look straight, and then by the time you get finished and get it stuffed, then your eyes are all wonky. So she does them after the fact, and she hot glues them in. So have any of you guys tried that? Does it work? Will they stay in? Or if someone's picking at the eyes, are they just going to pull like all the stuffing and everything out glued to the stem part of the safety eye? Just curious. But he's kind of cute. So my big fail, other than the snail, the absolute fail, was I was trying to do a goldfish. Now, for the most part, it looks like a goldfish. But where I ran into problems is it's hard to tell which is the top and which is the bottom. So when I sewed my fins on, I had it upside down. So like the long part of the fin is supposed to be at the top. But because I did it upside down, it doesn't look right. So I didn't finish. Like he gets a couple of little fins on the sides of him, you know, up here towards the eyes. And I didn't finish. Because I held him upside down like that. I mean, I don't know. Can you tell that it's upside down? Maybe I should finish it and just, like, can you tell? I don't know. So, really my only big item that I made that is not 100% finished, I just have to fasten off one end, was a gnome. Did him in ruby and seal, and his beard is an acrylic yarn. This is I don't know. I don't know the color name. But it was the closest thing that I had that kind of looked like a skin tone. But now his beard, oops, there's an oddball straggler I gotta trim. His beard was so funny. Like, you're supposed to attach the different skeins, different strings, and then take a brush and brush them. Well, Jenna wasn't home, so I don't know where the little flea comb is for the cat that she says doesn't work, but I thought it would be perfect for something like this. And so she wasn't home for me to ask where it was at. So I took it was 28 strands, doubled over, so 8 and 8, 16, so 56 strings, and I sat there and untwisted them. And I was just sitting there watching some Netflix. They have that new series called Painkiller. So I was sitting there watching that, just, you know, chilling, relaxing, no rush, and unraveling. And look at how curvy, wavy. I love the curls. So I'm not going to brush this. That's how it's going to go. I think that looks so good. I just need to, like, got a couple of stragglers over here that need to be trimmed. But I like that curly look. And I'm trying to think of what, like, does the top need a decoration? His very tall cone head. Does it need something to spice it up a little? Or does it look good the way it is? But this is the part I still have to finish. Left a very long string. I feel like I waste a lot like that. But that is what I have been up to this week. So I did a lot of smalls. My favorite thing that I did this week, I don't know, those little mini octos are fun to make because they're quick and painless. The chicken nugget was painless. The little mushroom pops, they're basically painless too. And they're small, you get done quickly, and you have an item. But I think my favorite, it's a toss-up between the gnome and this particular sunflower turtle. So, it's definitely a toss-up. So I have 2, 7, 8 turtles. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 chickens total. Still need to do a few more pickles. I need to do a whole bunch of potatoes and quite a few of the avocados, but I don't want to get bored, so I keep switching up what I'm working on. And once those are done, like say the pickles, once I think I'm going to put those on the bottom of that rack so it'll hold 16. So once I have a total of 16, then I'm done with pickles for this market. And then the avocados, because they're a little wider, I can't put as many wide, so it needs to go deep. I think they'll be in the middle, maybe. So I'll have to figure out how many fits in there. So I don't really want extras of them. I just want to be able to fill that display. And then the potatoes on top. That is my update. Everybody, feel for me, because I'm going to be sweating to death with my air condition issue, and because of the humidity and the moisture in the air, I am not really going to be able to work on a whole lot of stuff this week. One, it'll be physically uncomfortable for me because it is hot, and that yarn does not like all the moisture in the air. It makes it very difficult to work with. I found that out the hard way. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. You may or may not hear from me again this weekend. I might melt away to nothingness. Or they might get to have my part for my AC overnighted and it'll be fixed tomorrow and I'll be just the happiest person on earth because I'll have working air. So, yeah. All right, you guys. I will see you in the next video.